Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can contact this show at any time in the next 2 hours. 706-889-9700. Send me a text message, the email address, and all the ways you can follow us on social media. 8 a.m. here in LJ, Georgia. So, okay. I've listened to the Democrats line up at the podium. It's a dark and somber day in America. I have watched the Democrats over and over every single day try to paint this pale picture of darkness, a cloud covering our country and our capital in this impeachment trial. I have listened day in and day out to them tell us they never wanted to do this. They tried everything not to, but they had to. There was no way they could avoid impeaching the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. I have listened to the lies, the mentally ill diatribes of Adam Schiff, the teeth chattering because they're not in tight, nervous Nancy. I have listened to Joe and Minka, all of the gleeful reporters over there at CNN and MSNBC and ABC and CBS and even at Fox, the communist Chris Wallace. I've listened to all of them. What a dark day in America. But I'm here to report to you this morning, I decided not to come in and be a doom and gloom. I understand what today is. I get it. Okay? I absolutely get it. Today marks, and Sam, I know I sent the pictures pretty late this morning. They're finished. Okay, can you give me number 45? I understand this morning what today is. I got it. I get it. U.S. presidents to face impeachment. Andrew Johnson, February 24th, 1868. And then Bill Clinton, December 19th, 1999. 98. And Donald Trump, December 18, 2019. I understand. I get all that. I decided not to be a gloom and doomer today. No, not at all. Because as I was pondering, don't you ever ponder? As I was pondering this day, I was thinking about, I have said for years, the day Donald J. Trump came down the escalator with Melania in that white outfit, I'll never forget it. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. But Melania Trump and Donald came down the golden escalator at Trump Tower and went before that microphone. I immediately started telling people that will be the next president of the United States. I was laughed at. I was ridiculed. It was tough. Yeah, there was some tough days. Yeah, you sure this guy is going to be president? I knew it all along. And then the war. I have said for how many years? If you're new to the show, I've said for years. I don't like the only war that Donald Trump is in. Now, I understand we have men and women all around the world in the military in Afghanistan and Iraq and over there at Syria and one thing after another all over the world, Saudi Arabia, the list goes on. I understand that. But the only war that Donald J. Trump has engaged in is Operation Drain the Swamp. That's it. He has not gone out anywhere on foreign soil and engaged or started a war. The war is within, and we have a president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, that has recognized that. And 63 million Americans, with respect to the Electoral College, which was set up a beautiful system to make Kansas relevant as L.A., to make Omaha, right, as relevant as New York City, all right, and Winslow, Arizona, that everybody keeps standing on the corner of and taking pictures, relevant, to the East Coast or West Coast. The great Electoral College, 63 million Americans said we are ready to go to battle. Now, you may think, well, not all 63 million wanted to go to battle. Look, we knew it was a war. We will take back the hill, America. We will. With our fearless leader, President Donald J. Trump, we will take back the hill. Do not sit around and cry today. Merry Christmas, America. Get out and do your Christmas shopping. Period. Enjoy yourself. Trump supporters, if you call yourself a Trump supporter, you knew all along. You knew from this day right here. They didn't even let the guy take his hand off the oath here. Where is it at? I had it here somewhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Give me... I have it here somewhere. It'll take just a minute. I had it. I know I did. There it is. Give me number 30. Give me 14. We knew on this day. We knew on this day that this day was coming. We knew it. We knew the war. Now, what we did not know on that day is the Republicans would lose the House of Representatives, but Paul Ryan and that group is gone. I understand you're saying, well, it's a sad day. It's a blemish on his presidency. It's using a tool, okay? Impeachment is something that, you only use at the last point. And now impeachment's going to be every 2 years. Every one of these committees, and I don't want to get sidetracked to what I want to say, every one of these committees, Intelligence, Justice, House Oversight, or what, every committee in Congress now, in the House of Representatives, will now always be focused on some sort of impeachment and investigations. We have turned a turn. We have made the turn of never going back to you only. If you look at, we'll see this here, it has, I'm not going to go into Bill Clinton. Go to number 15. I'm not going to go into Bill Clinton, but it's been all the way back in the 1800s. Andrew Johnson, is that his name? President? 1800s. So anyhow, we knew Operation Drain the Swamp on this day. We knew that. We knew it's a war. Impeachment is just a battle within the war, folks. We know that. And we understand it. Nobody said this was going to be easy, okay? Nobody said we're just going to get all these facts and figures and we're going to get all these things together and we're going to put Hillary in jail on day one and we're going to put Comey in jail. We're going to put, anyhow, nobody ever said that this was going to be easy. Nobody. And he is fearless. I have to tell you, on this day that they will vote, the House will start debate this morning. It's 6 hours of debate, okay? And after the 6 hours of debate, then on this day, the resolution, you see where I have it here? 36. On this day, later, House Resolution 755 will go to the floor for a vote. Impeach Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. That will happen today. What does the president have planned? What is his first act after the impeachment? To go to Michigan, the blue wall, the state they say he's underwater, the state they say he can't win 2 times in a row. He plans to go to Michigan tonight. He may officially be impeached as the President of the United States by time he stands on the stage tonight. Folks, I'm going to take a break early here for a reason. Number 18, please. The House convenes at 9 a.m. to vote on Trump's impeachment. Listen, there's 2 camps here. When you're at war, you have an enemy. Let's not be nice about it today. They're not nice about it. You know what? The President of the United States sent Nancy Pelosi a 7-page letter. She said he's sick. There's nothing nice about them, so let's not really, watch our words and be careful what we say. We don't give a rat's ass what we say. They are mentally ill. The Democrats are going to vote right down party line today. Republicans are going to vote down party line to impeach the President of the United States. Nancy Pelosi said he's sick. Well, you know what? The reality is, when you're in war, you have an enemy. There's no better way to put it. You have an enemy. Sorry. It's not what I wish for in America. It's not the battle or the war I would like to see that I was hoping would happen. But we're here. And the enemy, the Democrats, the deep state. I get tired of people making fun of me because I say deep state. Yes, deep state bureaucracy, the swamp, it's a war. And we're in one battle. And the enemy out there. Why are we impeaching this President of the United States? So, look, if you're a Trump supporter, if you feel wounded, bandage up and get over it. If you're a Trump supporter and you feel hurt this morning, bandage up and get over it. Because number 15, when you're in war, you want a commander-in-chief that is fearless to lead the battle, to take back, number 18, the hill. And that's Donald John Trump. And I'm still behind you today, Mr. President. I am still ready to do whatever I have to do on a daily basis to drain the swamp. So get over it already. Don't sit around crying today, Trump supporters. It's time, because the next battle is just the next day around the corner. It's far from over. I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to look at some realities, not the Democrats' delusion, some realities. Take us to break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, number 15, how do you impeach this president? How do you do it? Now, there's no way of getting around. I know I just went to commercial and we're going to be positive today, but I tell you the sad thing about it is I've already read some posts on Facebook that you're ashamed of your government. I've read posts, you're ashamed of your government. To me, I keep looking at this president of the United States and I wonder how will... First of all, I've not named Donald John Trump the greatest president in American history. I've not done that at this time. But how can you write history? He may be the president that saves the republic for which we stand, okay? Now, don't have time for that, but, the pillars of democracy, I get it. Folks, we're a republic. He may be the president that saves the republic for another 60, 70 years. But I don't see, unless we have some social changes in this country to go with the laws and the Constitution, unless we become constitutionalists once again, have a constitutionalist Supreme Court, and have balance in these houses in Congress of some sanity, we cannot save the republic without some social changes. Now, I'm not going down that this morning. But I'm wondering how history, if you want to talk about sad today, how history will write about this president. Will this president be the first impeached president of the United States to win a second term in office? Will the American people, by their vote, override this impeachment? Because that's exactly what it'll be. How will this be written in the history books? That this man within 3 years has achieved XXX, and we're going to look at that. The House of Representatives voted on high crimes and misdemeanors to impeach him as President of the United States. The Senate acquitted him, will acquit him, and yet the American people, you see, the real, is it acquittal? Will be the American people at the ballot box. How will this be written in history? The American people voted for him again after being impeached? They're willing to take that chance. See, here's the thing, okay, in the media, and I can't get sidetracked because I got a lot to do today. They've always wanted you to have a feeling when you cast that vote that you're taking a chance with Donald Trump. That's what they have always tried to create. You're taking a chance if you vote for Donald Trump. Okay? The unknowns, the unknown about Donald Trump in 2016. Now we feel we know the guy, but they want you to believe with impeachment that you're taking another chance. Do you want to take a chance on this guy? But will the American people acquit him? How will they write history about this guy? What if in 8 years he does turn out to be the greatest president in the history of the United States? What if? What if he does? What if he goes all 8 years? And I don't know that, because let me tell you, the warmongers are just the warmongers, and when they decide to go to war, they go. But what if he went 8 years without starting a war? What if he did bring our men and women home? What if he did defend the borders of this nation for 8 years? What if? What if he brought sanity back to the Congress? What if? Because I'm going to tell you that if and when, I have to say if and when, okay? Because the deep state's not finished. We're in a war. If you think between now and Election Day the deep state's finished, oh, you're badly mistaken. But if and when this guy wins a second term, do you realize that it has totally changed the face of politics? This guy has. Who can run for office, what they can say. You have Republicans, here I am getting sidetracked, they've actually grown a set. Some Republicans have grown a set and saying, standing up and growing a set might work. If and when this guy wins a second term, it will totally change Congress. And how will that be? Because I'm telling you, the American people will start voting in candidates of sanity. That should be a line. Candidates of sanity. Either party. It'll start happening. So what if this turns out to be the greatest president in the history of the United States, and they impeach the guy, and the American people, acquit him at the ballot box? Because you sit here today, and let me tell you, not Trump's voters. Not Trump supporters. Not me. Not you. America. Give me number one. Let's start this. America, not you and I. Okay? Folks, this is the unemployment rate. Okay. 12/6, okay? 12/6 of 19. 3.5%, down from 3.6%. The forecast was 3.7. Look at that. 3.7, 3.5, 3.6, back down to 3.5. Unemployment, 3.5%. How do you impeach this guy? How do you do it? How do you impeach this guy? Look at number 3, the jobless rate. Black, Hispanic, all workers, white, Asian. For some reason, everybody wants to work Asians. They're down to 2.5. All the Asians are working. Look at that in the jobless rates. Huh? How do you impeach this guy? Number 4. There has never been more black and Hispanic Americans in the workforce, Friday's Labor Department report showed. How do you impeach this guy? What for? See, let me stop here, okay? Go to number 5. Let me stop right here. This is not me. This is not you. You know, we're in the tank, right? I mean, we're on the Trump train. We're wearing Trump hats. We're wearing Trump t-shirts. We dare you to say something about our president. These are the people that are not politically active in America. These are the people that are going through their day. A young person said to me the other day, said, I don't know a whole lot, and this individual might be about 25. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on with this impeachment thing, and I know you keep up with it. Can you explain it to me? Okay? America's like, what? But aren't we okay? I mean, the people that are not, I understand we're going to talk about the impeach Trump rallies that the media wants you to believe, all the things millennials are saying, all the things the kids are doing. I get it. But it's not you and I. It's America's kind of wondering, and they're not political. More people today are Googling and searching things because they're like, really? The jobless rate for Hispanics hit a record low of 3.9% in September, while African Americans maintained its lowest ever 5.5. The unemployment rate for Asian Americans was 2.5% in September. The jobless rate for adult women came in at 3.1. 3.1. What the hell? You see, the Democrats are in fear. Their fear is exactly what I started with. This may be the man that saves the Republic. They're trying to tear it down. If there's anything about the pillars of democracy crumbling, it's the Democrats trying to crumble this country. They want open borders. They want us to be taken over by all these other countries with our trade and our jobs. They have no problem with that whatsoever. They want to be global citizens, all the above. And America's out there saying, oh, they're in fear because black Americans, see, Donald Trump, one of the best lines he had in the campaign when it came to African Americans, what the hell do you have to lose? You're in a disaster. What the hell do you have to lose? They're in total fear. Hispanics don't hate Trump like they want you to believe. They're working. You know what? Do you know why? In my age group, do you know probably the two biggest things that made Ronald Reagan a hero in my generation? I'm waiting. Yes, Gorbachev, tear down the wall. Yes, I get it. Yes, I get it. But at that time, okay, in my generation, I've always paid attention politically, but to me, he was president of the United States, and I had a good job, and I bought a house. Simple as that. And he's president. Simple as that. I had a good job, bought a house. I could elaborate, but those are the two biggest things of why that guy was a hero to me. I was working every day and bought a house, enjoying life, had enough money to do a couple extra things. The jobless rate for Hispanics, 3.9%. Black Americans, 5.5%. Women, 3.1%. And 2.5% for Asians. I still don't understand. All them damn Asians is working. We got to look into that. You know what they know? They're working. They're buying a house. They're paying the rent. They bought a car. They went on vacation. It's what they know. You know, there's a big difference when your kids start telling you what they want for Christmas, and not sometimes the wish list is a little too long and too expensive, and it's not realistic. But there's a big difference when your kids tell you what they would like to have for Christmas, and you and your wife, whatever the hell you got going on in the house, sit down and don't say, how in the world are we going to do this, instead of going out and doing it. Number 6, Black and Hispanic unemployment at record low. They are in fear, folks. The impeachment is duly and strictly and completely out of fear, because they know we're winning the war. Operation Drain the Swamp. Now, I want to go to one more. We're going to stay on this. And my thing is, how can they impeach this guy? And you and I, how can they impeach this guy? But what you and I, as Trump supporters in the tank, have to take away is, don't worry. America's thinking the same thing today. All these polls, 50% think the American people think that Donald Trump should be impeached and removed. Bull, S-H asterisk, asterisk, period. No. It's not just you and I, folks. The battle's out there, and they're wondering too. We're going to look at one more thing, and we're going to come back. The impeachment is out of fear. Period. We are winning, folks, and we will win. Number 2, the S&P 500 hit a fresh record and closing high Tuesday as the stock rally continued for the 5th straight session. Each of the Dow and NASDAQ each also hit record closing high. Record closing high. Why are we impeaching this guy? Huh? How come Wall Street is not looking at this and saying, hey, you know, we should crash right now because this guy's being impeached? Let's take out of fear. Let's take another break, come back, and continue this, because we're not going to cry today, folks. We understand what's happening. Yes, we're ashamed of our government. Yes, I understand that. But Trump supporters, America is thinking the same thing you are. They may not be loud. You may have thousands of people out there, millions that won't wear the red hat. You have the ones and the focus groups that say, I wish he wouldn't say this and that. But guess what? They're thinking the same thing. What's this all about? Out of fear. Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Better days ahead. Days Chevy in Jasper makes the holidays bright. And during the 2019 model year-end clearance sale, the savings are huge. Like over $11,000 off 2019 Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,500 off 2019 Chevy Colorados. 'Tis the season of giving, and we're giving you thousands off every Chevy during the 2019 model year-end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. The impeachment out of fear this morning. Total fear. The Democrats are going to leave it up to the American people to acquit the President of the United States at the ballot box. But they're banking on the commercials that they run that say left unchecked. Okay? Now, I will talk about it a little later because I don't want to get in the weeds, but I've said for weeks now, and here recently more and more, if you watch and listen to what they say, the impeachment today, out of fear of Trump in 2020 with no way to stop him, is just that, left unchecked, left unchecked. Also, they will work now, I think, to make Joe Biden the actual candidate so they can say on election night they can't validate the election. Newscasters can say, well, Trump wins with an asterisk behind it because, you know, it is his political opponent. And it'll be election night, and so one of them will say, well, this will be talked about for years. Did the call with the Ukrainian President Zelensky cause Biden to lose this race? I'm telling you right now, that it's pretty sad when that's your last move. But the move I think they're making with impeachment is just that. 11 months from now in November, to say our elections are not, we can't certify them. They're going to have Secretary of State, because it's the way it works. See, we're a republic, you know, so the states actually have authority over their elections. They don't like that, okay? Now, I have said this, the Democrats are better at game plan. Their long game is much better than the Republicans. Republicans just have to win now, win now, win now, and hope for the best later. Democrats have long game. So in 2020, that will also be, there'll be a couple things. There'll be that will be also the reason to federalize elections. Well, you may say, well, aren't these already federal offices? Yes, but we are a republic, which the states, you have a Secretary of State. Remember Brian Kemp, Secretary of State. You have to certify. What happens is the Electoral College gets, was it Barack Obama would say 53 states? The Electoral College gets the certified signed copy of the election results from every Secretary of State in the Union. So if you don't understand, we're a union, republic, states, Commonwealth also. They are in the Republic of Texas. I get it. Okay. So that will be their reason to want to take over the elections. And you will have Secretary of States around the nation that won't certify the election. There will be court cases. If Biden's the nominee, there will be court case after court case. There will be Democrat Secretary of States that will not certify the election, so that you can't have an electoral college go vote because they have to have those state certifications on the election. And then what happens after that is, you don't have enough electors to give is it 270? I know it's just a lot of speculation, but you got to realize, if you are stopping and wondering today why they're impeaching this president of the United States, don't think that they got to try anything. This is a try anything. It's out of fear. Why are they impeaching this president? Let's go to, hold on here, McFly. Let's go to number 7. This guy never stops working. As of December 17th, 2019, the United States Senate has confirmed 174 Article 3 judges nominated by President Trump. 174 nominated by President Trump, including 2 Associate Justice of the Supreme Court for the United States, 50 judges for the United States Courts of Appeal, 120 judges for the United States District Court, and 2 judges for the United... What did I get there? I missed that one. I have it here on... Oh, I got to read more. I didn't click to read more. Sorry. This is a impeachment out of fear. 174 judges. Do you realize what that's doing all across this country? He's saving the republic for which it stands. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did I get it right? I don't know. But that's it. People are wondering, why are they impeaching this guy? Look at this guy. 174 judges. And then all you ever heard, okay? All you ever heard was Don McGahn and his, Don McGahn and his 30-some hours of result of nothing for Robert Mueller testimony, right? Chief White House counsel, all you heard was these negatives and McGahn leaving. When you and I know, Don McGahn, look it up, I'm pretty sure he was chief attorney for the Trump campaign. I believe he was the chief attorney for the Trump transition team. I think he was the lead White House attorney for over 2 years. You know what Don McGahn did for 2 solid years? Besides talk to Robert Mueller? He put together this judge list. That's what White House counsel does. That's what Don McGahn did. He put this list together. He worked with the president on this list, of putting his list together. 174. 174. Okay? That's fear. They're losing the war. You know the old saying, you want to win the battle and lose the war? I understand. I mean, I'm bothered by impeachment too. The American people are bothered by impeachment. We don't understand why. But folks, they know they're losing the war. They know it. Why do you think Nancy Pelosi is shaking? Do you realize there's people in high, powerful places that call these representatives that have their ear, like George Soros? Do you think Nancy comes out and she's nervous because she's just nervous? She's nervous because she just got off the phone with somebody in her district that's a billionaire or something that's screaming at her, what the hell are you letting happen? Do you see what's going on here? Let's see if I can find something else we want to look at. Hold on. Let's go to, remember when the President of the United States took office, and every time he wanted to do something, they rushed to that 9th district over there, that 9th Circuit, the 9th Circuit. Remember that? Because it's the most liberal. Remember when Trump took office and the most liberal district in the United States, the 9th, everybody would run there to stop everything in the 9th because they knew they would do it. Let's go with number 8. I'm going to pull up the article. This week, the U.S. Senate confirmed 2 more Trump nominees to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The 9th Circuit is the nation's largest appellate court and one long regarded as a liberal bastion. A liberal bastion. The 9th Circuit is the nation's largest and regarded as the most liberal bastion in the United States. Trump nominates to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Number 9. The changing makeup of the nutty 9th Circuit. Okay? So let's go to the tape, Alex. I didn't have any tape. I'm just joking. Leave that up there, please. This article was written in the Los Angeles Times, December 13th, 2019. Good morning and welcome to the Essentially California newsletter. It's Friday, December 19th. There are big, noisy political developments and the quiet one, but both matter. This week, the world watched as articles of impeachment against President Trump were introduced in U.S. Congress and met with hours of withering debate. But something else happened in the Capitol this week that could affect California and other Western states for decades. This week, the U.S. Senate confirmed 2 Trump nominees to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. Judges Lawrence Van Dyke and Patrick Bumatari, I think, who are both in their 40s. All right, wait a minute. If they're in their 40s, do you see how long they could affect the court? Well, what if they live to 80 and stay there? That would be 40 years. I told you when we started the show, Trump may be saving the republic. Don't worry today. I understand impeachment. I understand you're embarrassed. We're winning the battle, and people are not talking about it. We're turning this behemoth around. Their ascent to the bench means that Trump appointees now account for more than a third of the active judges on this very same court that the president once characterized as a thorn in his side and a complete and total disaster. Okay? Turning this behemoth around, the 9th Circuit. is now moving as a conservative court. Say that again 3 times fast. Where is the Ninth Circuit located? Nancy Pelosi. Where are these people freaking out from? California, Schiff, Pelosi. The East Coast, New York, they're freaking out over it. Trump is changing every court system in America and turning this behemoth around. Period. Now, we'll stay on the courts for just a minute. We're not done. Because it's out of fear. We are winning the war. I understand there's days you get up and you say, hey, I know. Well, I would think by now we'd have people in jail. Hey, it's 3 years. I mean, if you have an aircraft carrier out there on the open ocean there and it's going north, how long does it take and what's the distance of the turn to get that sucker to turn south all of a sudden? This is a behemoth of a disaster that the progressive liberal communists, all the way back at Woodrow Wilson, Jekyll Isle, where they created the Federal Reserve, this is a disaster, this behemoth of corruption. And you don't turn this thing in 48, months, 24 months, 2 years, you don't do it. We're winning the war. Well, when are people going to go to court? Look, I'm going to tell you something. Donald Trump has yet to back down from one person. Just this past week, he said Obama knew everything. Elect this man a second term. You wait till the aircraft carrier is headed in the opposite direction. We're coming out of the turn. Re-elect this guy, and I believe he cleans things up before he leaves office. And we start electing a Congress of common sense. Oh, the candidates will totally change. Look at the swamp that's deleted now. Look at Paul Ryan is gone. John Boehner is gone. Look at some of the swamp that is so far gone and removed. It's happening. It's happening. So anyhow, they're impeaching him today out of total and complete fear because they know, you need to know, they know they're losing the war. They're clear on it. Number 64. The Supreme Court of the United States. Neil Gorsuch. Justice Neil Gorsuch on the court. Number 65. Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court. May have swung his schlong in college, but he's on the Supreme Court of the United States. Supreme Court. They're impeaching him out of fear. Now, the continued fear they have. Number 10. Breyer. He may be gone. He's 80 years old. He may go. Trump could get that pick in the second term. Chief Justice John Roberts. No, sorry. Number 12. She could be gone. Ruth, check to see if she's breathing Ginsburg on a daily basis. They walk in. Who's going in this morning? I don't know. You go in today. I don't want to be the one to say she's not breathing. She could be gone. That'd be another Trump appointee. And we got the guy number 13 that wants to retire. Associate Justice Clarence Thomas. We know he wants to retire. Right? We know it. But he wants to retire and make sure he gets replaced on the court and we lose no ground. You see, if the Democrats could stay in control and they get number 10, if Joe Biden was to win and he leaves, he would leave the minute she leaves, number 12. And he gives up. I don't want to say that, number 13, but he gives up and leaves. That could be 3 Democrat picks. It's out of fear. There's 9 Supreme Court justices in the United States of America. Peter Pan Buttigieg, the boy that would be king, I think he wants 22 justices or something. I don't know. He wants like a regular parliament of Supreme Court. But let's look at this right here. And I want to show you something, and stay with me on this. Really quick. Number 7. And we'll leave with this right here. December 17, 2019. That was recently. As of yesterday, 174 judges. He has turned the courts around. Even the nutty 9th liberal court. All right? Now, Trump has already put number 64. Count them. Gorsuch, 65. Kavanaugh, that's 2. Trump's put 2. Okay, what if he gets a pick to replace number 10? That would be 3. What if he gets a pick to replace number 12? That would be 4. What if he gets a pick to replace number 5? I mean, number 13. That would be 5. Let's see, 5. So you would have 5 of the 9 Supreme Court justices of the United States of America that Trump appointed. They're impeaching him today out of fear. I'm telling you, we're winning the war. I understand. I get it. Take us to break and we'll come back with a little more.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey, we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show, the impeachment out of fear today. We're talking about it, and I'm just telling you, it is a battle, drain the swamp war. It's Operation Drain the Swamp War. We have a fearless leader, number 61, Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. How will they write him in history if he ends up saving the Republic? And if he ends up saving the Republic and turns out to be the greatest president in American history with this impeachment. Now, we know that he sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi, number 55. Trump sent a 6-page letter to Nancy, okay? Nancy Pelosi, which in turn, she said, what did she say? She said the president is, hang tight, folks. Number 33, her response to the letter is, Pelosi dismisses ridiculous, really sick Trump letter. The impeachment today is totally out of fear. We've talked about judges, we've talked about unemployment, we've talked about stock market. The list is amazing that goes on, okay? Now, that being said, you have the USMCA agreement, trade agreement. And if you took, and it's up to the end of the year, if you took the very first time, okay, that Trump said China can no longer steal our intellectual property. Now, corporations and CEOs love this guy. They don't want to admit it. I mean, they don't want to admit it because they're liberal kids that are out there working for them that are in their 20s making them billions of dollars. But at the same time, you know, Tim Cook at Apple knows that he could pick up the phone and call Donald Trump and say, they're stealing our intellectual property. Well, you know, we can't compete because the playing field's not level. We can't compete because they actually took all of our stuff and putting it in their own phone and calling it something else. All the above. They know that. Our manufacturers know their intellectual property is being stolen day in and day out by these foreign governments that have not been checked at all. And they know the only person they can count on now is President Donald Trump. Period. So the very first time he said steel, aluminum, the very first time he said anything about a tariff where China was concerned, if you had the time and you just sat all afternoon and went back from 2017 to 2018, 2019, and now we're up to 2020 of the disaster this was going to be. I mean, it was only 3 months ago. I don't even think it was 4 months ago that they did weeks of recession reporting, that all indicators, and that Trump was driving us into this recession with the tariffs. The liberal media that is corrupt and should be held accountable, should be liable for trying to intentionally, through the summer of this past year, push us into a recession. We knew the deal was done, okay? Remember? Buyers are out there buying and making deals in the summertime for Christmas merchandise. They're making all their deals. They have to ship. They have to have it floated across the water. They have to get it through customs or whatever. And they got to get it to the stores. They got to get their price models set. They got to get their advertising department to start running commercials in October or whatever. This is set all the way through the summer. So when Trump announced new tariffs, what did the media do? They ran all over TV that this would take place and hurt Christmas sales. That you would pay more, you would pay more, you would pay more. Trump keeps saying China's paying the bill. The American people obviously are not concerned, and they are not yelling that, hey, my coffee cup went from $1 to $1.15 and I can't buy it anymore because record spending, purchasing, unemployment. You remember that? The media worked all summer to push us into a recession. They hate this country. The Democrats hate this country. Trying out of fear. Everything is out of fear. Now let me say this, okay? So, a trade deal, Lighthizer came out with part one of a trade deal. They're in fear. What if Trump finally gets China in check? They're in fear. So Trump tells Boris Johnson, and months ago, we will put together an amazing trade deal because what? The EU is going to collapse the UK. The very minute that they pull out, why, it's going to collapse. They're going to be the British citizens or whatever the hell they are over there in England or wherever they are, and Wales, they're all going to starve to death because once they pull out of the EU, all of those great trade deals the EU has built into that group, they will not be a part of anymore. Trump goes, they're in fear. Give me number 66. Total fear. So Trump goes over there and says, look, how many days on end in 3 years has the media tried to convince us that Trump is hurting us on the world stage? And remember, all they know how to do is report the London Muslim mayor and baby Trump there and how much they hate Trump in London. So you would think with the UK press and Trump going over there and saying, Boris Johnson, hey, go out there and campaign that you're getting out of Brexit. Go out there and campaign that you're going to have the greatest, strongest trade deal ever in history with your American cousins. Go campaign, because the day you get out, we're going to put a trade deal together and we're going to sign it like it's never been seen across the pond, right? So supposedly, remember, the media, they're evil as hell. How many days did they try to convince us that they hate Trump so bad over there? And Boris Johnson has been trying to distance himself from Trump so he could win. And even at the last NATO summit, these evil people that report news or report propaganda tried to make it look like that Johnson was staying clear away from Trump. No, guess what happened? Trump went to dinner with this guy like 4 nights before the election at number 10 Downing Street. And he tells the guy, dude, the trade deal. And the UK, the voters know America's got a trade deal and Trump's waiting to help. Boris Johnson wins election and his party, Conservative Party, win in landslide with a mandate. He's out of Brexit. Get ready, America. Why do you think the stock market's blowing up? Get ready. We're getting ready to we made an awesome deal with these people the minute they pull out of Brexit. The UK economy's going to boom. What? They're in fear. They are in total fear. What if in 2 years from January and Johnson's out of the EU, the fear, the globalist fear. Folks, we're winning the war. What happens in a couple years when Johnson and the UK are out of the EU and he has a great trade deal with America and the UK unemployment goes down and their economy goes up and they start popping the champagne and putting their pictures back up of Winston Churchill singing Happy Days Are Here Again? And other EU countries say, what the hell? Maybe we need to get out. What happens if Donald Trump and Boris Johnson and Brexit end up busting up the EU in the long run. They're in fear. Johnson's getting ready to make UK great again. That's right. Total fear. What happened at NATO? This guy, the Secretary General, was getting nothing from Obama, nothing from Biden, nothing at all. This guy watched the Russians roll right into Crimea and take it over from Ukraine, that we keep hearing Ukraine. He watched it. He watched us back out and turn our backs, I think, on Poland with a missile defense system, right? Was that what it is? He watched it. He watched all of his equipment to turn dilapidated. He watched the bank accounts be near nothing. And what is NATO? NATO is created to be a resistance on Russian aggression. The media has done nothing for 3 years but try to convince you that Donald J. Trump is just like this with Vladimir Putin. Why would he be this close with Vladimir Putin and be solely responsible for making all the NATO alliance countries come up with their payments? And this Secretary General loves Donald Trump. The bank account is going from here to here. He has new equipment. And again, to reiterate, what is NATO? NATO was created to hedge off Russian aggression. Doesn't seem to be going in the right direction if you're that big of friends with Vladimir Putin. They're in fear, total fear, okay? On the world stage, they're in fear. You realize between NATO and between Boris Johnson there, they could, Donald Trump has single-handedly made the World Trade Organization, not the World Trade Organization, is it the World Trade Organization? Yeah, the World Trade Organization court, I'll look it up. He has ended it. It's over. I'll look it up right after this. They're in fear. The EU could collapse. The globalists, in fear. NATO is strong, in fear. What if Trump continues this direction, and at home people like him, and in the world finally somebody starts saying, damn, this guy has single-handedly broke down globalism? Hey, it's a tough chore, but don't give up the fight because we're winning the war. Impeachment is just a battle. They are impeaching out of total and complete fear today. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Better days ahead.
Day Chevy in Jasper makes the holidays bright. And during the 2019 model year end clearance sale, the savings are huge. Like over $11,000 off 2019 Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,500 off 2019 Chevy Colorados. 'Tis the season of giving, and we're giving you thousands off every Chevy during the 2019 model year end clearance at Day Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Day Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, I've been talking about today, we understand the House, it will vote on articles of impeachment today. We understand that. If you want to tell me how you feel about it, or you got comments or anything whatsoever, there you go. That's our phone number or email address. And the ways you can follow us on social media. I'd like to know what you think. But, you know, I guess one of the things I wonder is, it's kind of strange, is how do they write about this president in the history book? How do they write about this president in the history book? Now, I have not labeled him at this time the greatest president in America. Give me number 61. No, not 61. Let's go with 15. All right. How are they going to write about this guy in the history book? Now, what if he turns out to be the guy that saves the world? I got it. I know. Wait a minute. You're going a little. We just talked about globalism. We just talked about, Brexit. This could break up the total EU. When Boris Johnson, and we'll get to that, back to that in a minute, gets out of Brexit and gets out of the EU, gets the UK out of the EU, and the UK starts to go up, and their trading starts to go up, and their stock market and production goes up, and he has an awesome trade deal with America, and all of a sudden you got Boris Johnson and Donald Trump, and next thing you know, you have other EU countries wanting out. That could collapse that world organization they have over there. And the guy with his hand up he took an oath. I got it. We're almost there. He took an oath, okay? And he's the one that's living up to the oath. He is the one that believes on every single day there should be law and order, not on just particular days, just given days. He's the one that believes under the oath that you don't pick and choose if you follow the law with immigration. You don't pick and choose if you follow the law on any given day on any given subject. Donald. So he's taken his oath. And when he takes the oath, right, he may collapse the EU. NATO is really in position to defend against Russian aggression. That's what it's set up for, right? But my question is, how are they going to write about this guy in the history book? They're going to impeach the guy today. Articles of impeachment on the floor. He could be the one that saves the republic. He could get reelected. The American people could acquit him at the ballot box. All the above. Now, I told you, give me number 68 before we went to the break. I got jumbled up there. All right. Now, remember, don't forget, they're doing this out of fear. I can give you every reason. The global elites are in fear of this man. And that's your Joe. They want Joe Biden back. President Trump ends WTO dispute resolution court, opens new era for fair trade. Remember that court we lose in all the time? This is from the Epic Times. This was December 13th, okay? Chris Street. When President Trump ended the 24-year-old World Trade Organization dispute resolution court by refusing to name 2 replacement judges, the move has launched a new era of fair trade. They're in fear, man. Trump standing strong against the Chinese. We didn't collapse. We didn't go into a spiral of a recession. We didn't. Trump standing strong against every country. Trump standing strong against Mexico, Canada. We didn't collapse. They're in total fear. Axios called the December 11th dismiss of the World Trade Organization appellate body as a big win for Donald, tariff man. Trump, who would now be free to impose whatever tariffs he likes without the fear that the World Trade Organization might find them to be illegal. Within 24 hours, the U.S. Congress agreed to a new NAFTA trade deal, and China cut a deal for the U.S. trade war truce. The World Trade Organization treaty signed by 164 nations transferred final authority over trade disagreements between nations to a multilateral trade dispute settlement organization with an appellate body that could issue legal binding edicts. Trump ended it. Where are you going to go? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Because let me tell you, China, you don't want to come make a deal? Guess what? You want to say my tariffs are out of line? Guess what? You got nowhere to take the dispute. You're wondering, like, all of a sudden they're wanting to talk in Congress about passing the trade agreements. You're wondering, like, Lighthouser, now China's doing phase 1, and Trump comes to the microphone and says it's a really good deal. It's a good deal. Yes, we're working out a good deal. We will work out a deal. It'll be a tremendous deal. It'll be a great deal. It'll be historic. Trump says all this stuff because the media won't report what really happens and when it happens. Trump ended the WTO dispute resolution court. Open new era for fair trade. Hey, bring it on, baby. You think my tariffs are bad? What are you going to do? You going to take me to court? Take me to court. Oh, there is no court. There is no resolution court. What the hell happened? Sorry. Trump, they're in fear, damn it. Just wake up and watch. They are in total fear, and these globalists are in fear. The swamp's in fear. Nancy's in fear. In fact, you may even catch Nancy taking a crap in the streets in San Francisco here soon. She's so nervous. I'm serious, man. They just crap right in the streets. Excuse me, can you give me a minute? You got to step outside. The restroom's down the hall. No, not in San Francisco, baby. Fear. World trade. Our intellectual properties. Corporations. fair trade, EU, NATO, all right? Mexico, cartels, Mexico, immigration, building the wall, Canada, just a bunch of hosers, right? But peace, what about peace? This guy likes peace. Now, they make fun of him, the media, and they like to play all the little Rocket Man clips, and they like to laugh at the president because he talked to Rocket Man. Give me number 67. Let's not forget. Donald Trump went to North Korea. He stepped over the line. Hey, on the way home, stop. Stop at the demilitarized zone. The other little guy, the short guy, Kim Jong, what's his name? Whatever. Tell him to meet me at the line. Okay, laugh all day long. Trump's met with this guy twice, and on the way home from China or wherever he was at, he took a quick stop and he said, meet me there. And he stepped over that historic step over into North Korea. And all the media is doing, CNN, MSN, oh, we've got satellite imagery. Don't you love it, satellite imagery? He has fired up this, and he's fired up that, and he's building this, and he's building that, right? He's launching this, he's launching that. That little guy is defiant. He has sent up, he's called Trump, he's laughing at Trump, saying, I got a Christmas present for you, all right? And fear, that's the fear. Remember when he called him Rocket Man. Remember when he was trying to negotiate Hawaii's emergency system, accidentally sent out an incoming alert? Of all places, Hawaii. Remember the last time incoming, right? Pearl Harbor. So their emergency management system sent out the incoming alert that he had launched. The people were in such fear, they're scattering, trying to get their kids. A guy jumped down a manhole and died, heart attack. It was an accident, right? Or maybe it was to cause Donald Trump to react. Maybe when the president got the message that day in the Oval Office or wherever he was at, it said, Mr. President, Emergency Management of Hawaii just sent out an incoming from North Korea. I don't know, maybe that happened. Maybe we'll never find out. Maybe they came in and said immediately they got that, but it's wrong, sir. There's nothing incoming, right? They're in fear, folks. What if Trump in the next term really worked something out with this guy? This guy right here went to, right? He has gone to Japan and said, you got to pay more for our military. This guy right here went to South Korea. What do we have? 36,000 troops. You can text, you can Google it. I might be wrong. We got what, 36? This guy went to South Korea and said, look, you got to pay $500 million more a year to Americans. To Americans, not him, Americans, for this protection. The world is not in full-blown war as they predicted. They're in fear. Wait a minute. He tweets out something that's really radical, and he calls Nancy Nervous Nancy and says she's sick. He says Schiff is mentally ill, but when it comes to really fighting a war, he's not sending our kids to get them killed. He's not counting the body bags because he wants to go to war, and he wants to make military weapon manufacturers wealthy. Yeah, I said it. This guy's not out there making these weapon military manufacturers wealthy by going off to war. Whatever, you know? So what if the next term he does reach peace? What if he puts the pressure on China because he's in the position now he can, and make China and Russia because he's in the position? Let me tell you something. They already know, the world knows, he will get a second term. They're not waiting him out. China didn't wait him out. They're not waiting this guy out any longer. You will see Iran want to talk. They're not waiting this guy out. They know. What if he gets a second term? They'll all come in line. Because I'm going to tell you something. A Trump presidency unchecked, it's exactly what we need. They're in fear. They're in fear that he may bring peace. They're in fear that he may break up the globalists in the EU and all of that going on. I say more. They're in fear. They're in fear that, England, the UK could be very successful, which will break up the EU eventually, and the globalists. They're in fear. They're in fear of our courts here in the United States, the Ninth Circuit, the nutty court. They're in fear that this guy in a second term could end up with 5 out of 4 Supreme Court justice picks. They're in fear. They're in fear. 3.5% unemployment. Stock market in fear. Impeachment is in fear. We're going to switch to impeachment when I get back. Folks, impeachment is a battle. You knew it was going to be a war. Okay? Take us a break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Chevy in Jasper makes the holidays bright. And during the 2019 model year end clearance sale, the savings are huge. Like over $11,000 off 2019 Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,500 off 2019 Chevy Colorados. 'Tis the season of giving, and we're giving you thousands off every Chevy during the 2019 model year end clearance at Day Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Day Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
We're back. Brennan admits there were mistakes made in FISA application. We will get into that, folks. We have not abandoned that. I was just wanting to really be encouraging today. And because so many of the things I spoke about are in the 6-page or 7-page letter that the President of the United States sent Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. He wanted it put on record for history. And the reason I wanted to talk about history today, because as I said so many days, it's sickening as the media puts up historic day, historic day. They don't put up historic day 3.5% unemployment. They don't put up a big byline under their story, historic day, 5.5% unemployment in Black America. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And that's exactly what I wanted to do today, is I wanted to talk about history. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to, listen, before I get there, funny is funny. If it's funny, I don't care who it is, all right? Who was the comedian that used to say, that there's funny, I don't care who you are, okay? I have said, when Trump, you've heard me on the show, all right? When Trump said number 19, okay? When Trump said in that meeting and called Rudy a crime fighter, how many days in a row have I told you that I wanted to do Rudy the superhero? I mean, I didn't have time to work with our graphics department. I didn't have time. I got other things to do. But somebody ran with exactly what I was thinking. And when it's funny, I have never watched Stephen Colbert. I've only watched clips that will come on YouTube if something comes up. But the day that Donald Trump called Rudy a crime fighter and said he's been fighting crime for 50 years, you know, on the show, if you pay attention, I loved that. Rudy's the crime fighter hero. So you got to give credit sometimes. So Stephen Colbert, I'm not going to play the actual clip because NBC would, CBS would flag us on YouTube and take down our video. But let's go to number 20. There's Rudy the crime fighter. Because Rudy's got the goods, folks. Let's go to let's go to 21. There's Rudy punching the press and the chops. Let's go to 22. Rudy the crime fighter. Let's go to 23. I'm sorry. Funny, it's funny. 24. Batman, there's Rudy. And number 25. Let's go to 26. '27. Yovanovitch needed to be removed for many reasons. Most critical, she was denying visas to Ukrainians who wanted to come to the U.S. and explain Dem corruption in Ukraine. She was obstructing justice, and that's not the only thing she was doing. She, at a minimal, enabled Ukrainian collusion. We know it may not have been a crime, but we know that Yovanovitch, the embassy in Ukraine, looked like a Hillary Clinton campaign office. They had a big victory party ready for her in the embassy, and many invited to it from Ukraine. We know that. But Rudy the crime fighter, you gotta love it, folks. Just gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love it. Let's go through these really quick. Let's go with number 60. CNN opens up, Trump defiant before impeachment. Oh, yeah, he's defiant. Number 59, Giuliani still supports Trump still supports my Ukraine probe says we're on the same page, digging dirt on Democrats. Rudy the crime fighter. This was important to put up, number 58. I missed this yesterday. I would have went to the protest rally. Pro-impeachment rallies across the country. Okay. This is like, I took this and this is like, hell yeah. I will tell you this, the media is popping champagne corks. Everything you watch, so I start watching at 4 a.m. in the morning, right? But everything you watch today, watch how excited they are in their reporting today. Jubilant reporting. Gleeful. With a smile. Here's Christine Roma's number 57. She's got that hell yeah look. It's today, hell yeah. House set to vote on impeachment. Look at that. Historic vote. That's why I want to talk about history. Number 56. It's not accomplishments. Trump sent 7 pages of accomplishments of this administration. Just like I tried to lay out this morning. Why are you impeaching me? Trump's 6-page diatribe belittles impeachment as an attempted coup, from the New York Times. Letter to Pelosi, number 55. Oh, by the way, we did pass, number 54, a $1.4 trillion spending deal. Yeah, that passed. Ooh, damn. Number 53. Back to the anti-Trump rallies all across the United States. Nashville, New York, Denver, Portland, Oregon, Phoenix, Atlanta. There was one in Atlanta. We could have just closed the shop, took everybody. Thousands of protesters hit the streets to support impeachment. Wonder what Soros paid for that. 52. Pelosi on the letter. It's really sick. It's really sick. Number 51, Mitch McConnell, no witnesses at impeachment trial, shoots down Schumer's call to have 4 witnesses appear. Schumer wants witnesses. Number 50, they were chasing Nancy through the hallways underneath the tunnels there of Congress. Trump praises himself in a letter to Pelosi. He didn't praise himself. He praised what America is doing. Claims he's done so much for the success of America. They're in fear. Number 49. You apparently have so little respect for the American people that you expect them to believe that you are approaching this impeachment somberly. It should have said soberly. I think that's spell check. Should have said soberly. Somberly. No intelligent person believes what you're saying. No intelligent person believes what you're saying. I told you earlier, the American people are like, okay, why are they doing this to a brother? Let's go to 47. Obviously, there was not a positive thing reported at CNN and MSNBC that Trump said in the letter. Not a positive achievement. Number 47, there are not many people who could have taken the punishment inflicted during this period of time and yet done so much for the success of America and its citizens. He does have Rudy the crime fighter with him. All right? 46. Don't you love this yesterday? Trump takes 0 responsibility. Don't you take any responsibility? I mean, don't you think you've done something? No, 0. 0. Not 0.1%. 0, damn it. 0. Trump takes 0 responsibility for impeachment. Calls it a disgrace to impeach over a perfect call to Zelensky. Number 45, we showed you this earlier. By the end of the day, Trump will be the 3rd president. Bill Clinton, Andrew Johnson. See, we went from 1868 to 1998, and then we went from 1998 to 2019. This is just going to become a common occurrence. Senate has to vote to remove, so relax. He's not going anywhere. 44. Trump District Democrats carry impeachment to the finish line. Finish line, baby. They sent out, we'll get to it in a minute. I'll just keep going through the pictures. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is number 43. William Rehnquist, Chief Justice of the United States, January 7th, 1999. What they will do is John Roberts, I'm going to have to flip there real fast. Sam on account. Number 11 will do that. It's presided, the impeachment trial is presided over by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in the Senate. And they're upset because Mitch McConnell says they're going to play it straight down party lines. It's partisan. But you're supposed to take an oath. Oh, my God. Don't give me that oath garbage with Schiff, the mental ill Adam Schiff out there, and Jerry Nadler. So Chief Justice John Roberts will come to the floor of the Senate. He will preside over it. He will ask them all to stand and raise their right hand. He will read an oath of the trial, and they will all register yay, 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 yes, they agree to take the oath. That'll happen. It's a trial. My understanding is Mitch McConnell is saying there'll be opening statements, okay? Opening statements, and then they will vote to acquit. So let's go quickly. Number 42. House convenes at 9 a.m. to vote on Trump impeachment. Don't forget, folks, okay? He's done all he can do. I don't have time. We're bumping up on 13 minutes left in the show. The 9th Congressional District, Congressman Doug Collins, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, has done all he can do. He will make a speech from the floor today, but he's done all he can do. Thank you. That's all I got to say. Let me move on. Number 39, Trump's letter to Pelosi. All right. First thing out of the box this morning. Number 38, Trump District Democrats carry impeachment to the finish line. Okay. Trump District Democrats carry impeachment to the finish line. Number 37, they're going to do 2 articles. This is going to be a little game they play. Jared Golden, a representative, will vote with Democrats on one Trump impeachment article and not the other. They're going to play games today. Number 36, this is the resolution impeaching Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. It's really sad, all those things I brought up that he's done, the way he's, what he's done to this country. Well, 35, before a day of reckoning, a fiery last stand. All right. Number 33, Pelosi dismisses ridiculous, really sick Trump letter. Number 31, Bob Costas. No, that's not his name. I'm sorry. I don't have his name right. But anyhow, there's David Ignatius, right? Rudy Inc., flourishing during the Trump era, right? And let me get this one here. 28. Look at how happy the two are. They are so happy this morning. Giuliani boasts, then backtracks on some details of engineering Yovanovitch's ouster. And then we have, let me get to the... Number 17. This morning, these people came on. You're going to remember. Let me just say this, okay? Trump is a brand, is a name, is a brand. He turned it into a brand. And I love it, okay? Now they talk about his ego, all right? They talk about his ego. They talk about, he puts his name on his buildings, whatever. And I get it. I absolutely get it. Okay. Trump is in the real estate development business, construction, and he has always known Trump is just that. Trump is Melania Trump. Trump is Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Donald Trump. He's always known that the Trump brand involved, if your name is Trump, you get to say Trump. And it's not uncommon across the United States of America with small business owners. Now, if you own a retail store, you might want to name the product or put the service up and not your name. That's obvious, right? But I will tell you this, if you look at the majority of, and this is a statistic I don't have facts on, but if you look at the majority of Americans that start a small business that's landscapers, concrete, drywall contractor, insulation contractor, steel contractors, general contractors, plumbing, the list goes on and on, developers. The majority of them use their name because they want to put their name on it. And they believe that no matter what happens out there with the construction project, with the development, no matter what happens out there, these are the kind of people in America that take it on themselves. Go to number 15. We'll come back to this. These are the kind of Americans that take it on themselves. If you're not happy with the drywall job, call me. I might have 300 people, you call me. If you're not happy with the plumbing and you don't think it's working right or something, call me. My name's on there. I mean, I could go on and on for hours, but that's how those people are in America. Call me. And we have pride in handing that company down to the son, the daughter, or the next group of heirs that have the name. They can make fun of Donald Trump all day long for Trump, Bedminster and Mar-a-Lago and Trump over there in Scotland. I mean, all of his hotels, Trump Tower. They can make fun of him all day long with putting Trump on it and how he is. But he's no different than millions of Americans, right down to landscaper. John Doe's Landscaping. Hey, you sent a crew out this morning and they did not put the azaleas where I told them to put it. Call me. My name's on the company. That's America. Oh, yeah, that's big. Every real estate agent in the United States works under a broker, obviously, with their name. They want you to know their name. Deal with me. I'm your realtor. The Pritchard Company. You can look it up online. You can look up the Facebook. The Pritchard Company. Drywall construction. My sister runs it today. You've had her on the show, Lee, several times. ThePritchardCompany.com. You can look it up today. It's public. But my dad decided in 1962 that it would always have that name, that whoever was out there. I remember until my dad got sick here a couple years back, at 70 years old, with 350 people working. I'm serious, 350 people. He didn't care who it was. You don't like the job, call me. At 70 years old with 350 people working, one uncommon for him to get a call at the house at 8 o'clock at night. Hey, Jerry, we're just not happy with the job. Now, I'm saying they do bad work, but okay, I'll have somebody there in the morning. I grew up hearing I'll have somebody there in the morning to take care of it. Call me. Now, Donald Trump, a billionaire, with his brand, his name, and America understands that. From landscapers to big developers, they still understand it. Hovnanian, Kay Hovnanian, Kara. Kara Hovnanian, Kay Hovnanian. I think Kara is dead now. One of the largest traded builders in the United States still. It's went through a lot of changes, but name. So this guy here, go back to 17 with my 4 minutes. They spent the opening this morning laughing at his name, laughing at who he is, laughing at what this cost him, saying this impeachment. They laughed this morning that this impeachment would cost Donald Trump's business millions of dollars. They were laughing, saying that big name people won't stay there anymore in fear of being seen coming out of a Trump hotel. This is what they're saying this morning. And they spent a good 10 to 15 minutes laughing at Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani. Laughing. I'm serious. And saying why Donald Trump allowed Rudy Giuliani to stick this noose around his neck, because the whole Ukrainian thing has Rudy behind it all the way. They don't know. Let me tell you something. If Rudy doesn't have the goods, folks, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Doug Collins, Nunes, Jim Jordan, they would be running. They all know Rudy has the goods, and they all know how corrupt Ukraine is, and they all know Trump's on to something, and they know who's in fear of going to jail and being prosecuted. They laughed at our president every day. They were laughing this morning. Impeachment's going to cost him billions of dollars, but when he gets out of office, he's going to be a president in exile. That's what they said, a president in exile, making fun of him. When he gets out of office, his brand will be ruined. It'll be hurt so bad. And I'm thinking, really? That was your goal, to hurt this guy? This guy gave up his business, gave up this freedom, do whatever he wanted, get on his own plane that's as nice as Air Force One, has his own entourage, own security, and the money to pay for it. He's taking this heat, and you're laughing that it could bring him down, personally, business, and as the president. I don't preach, and this is it. It's 9:59. I do not preach. I do not use this show as a platform to do anything or get religious in any way. But I close this morning to tell you, don't forget, Noah was building the ark as they laughed, ridiculed him, made fun of him. Noah was building the ark until they closed the door. They were still laughing. And it wasn't until the rain got to here and they were gurgling in it. They were begging for him to open the door. So you just keep laughing. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. It's a great day in America. Don't let it get you down. I promise. Trump's going to be impeached. Damn, like that's a big shock. Tonight he's going to be in Michigan. I can't wait.